Recently, two of my viewers from completely different people groups asked me to read their messages and to address their messages concerning the hate and the lies that have been told about their people groups. And at first I felt, I can't do this. I'm not an expert in any way. I don't even know much about these things, although I myself have been upset about both of these issues. And so I just was kind of like mulling it around in my brain, and I came up with the conclusion. I think it was God who was trying to get me to get me to speak about this one thing, and I came to the conclusion that no, I'm not an expert in either of these issues, and I don't even have much to say about either of these issues except that I agree. But both of these issues can be tied together by one thing, and that is love. But not love in a general sense, love in a very specific sense, and that has affected my life. So let's get on with it. Okay, one of the first one I'm going to read is from, excuse me, I know I don't know how to pronounce your names right, but Hamzeh, Hamzeh, El-Hafar, Elhaffar, and this person is from Syria, and they wrote, "Can you speak about Syria and what's happening there? I hate it when people have the wrong idea of us because we are not terrorists and we don't want money or food from anyone. We only want our home back, our life back." Okay, and the second one is from Ilana Hochbaum, ELANAHOCHBAUM. And hers says, "I wish you could make a video about anti-Semitism and how people think the Holocaust is a hoax. It makes me sick when people say that because my bubby," her grandmother, "was a Holocaust survivor. I even have a picture of her tattoo. She lost her whole family, including her 6-year-old sister. She is up there in heaven right now with them. I think she died recently. My bubby's name was Fanny Hochbaum." And my 2 cents that I have to say is hatred and fear, which seem to be ruling the whole world at this time, can only be conquered by one thing, and that is love and faith. And I'm just going to explain to you what happened to me, and hopefully that will, because I can only talk from my perspective. And I'm going to read now a scripture from the Bible, and a lot of you know it. It's 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8, and it is, "Love is patient, love is kind, and is not jealous. Love does not brag and is not arrogant, does not act unbecomingly, it does not seek its own, is not provoked, does not take into account a wrong suffered, does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails." Now, for many years, I read the scripture, and it just didn't, I just thought, oh, that's wonderful, and all of that. Well, one day, I was seated, I was in my friend's house, and I was alone, and I saw they had a plaque on the wall that said this very thing. And I was kind of looking at it, and I realized, as I looked at this, as I really read it, and I thought about it, I had to come to the conclusion, because at that time of my life, I was filled with the opposite of these things. And even though I was a Christian, I had been a Christian for many years up at that point, But I just had to be honest, and I was looking at it and I was thinking, I don't have any of these qualities. I was looking at each one and I was trying to see if I had these things in my own heart, and I didn't. And I didn't even love my family in the way that I should. I loved them, but I did not live this in any way to anyone. And I was full of, the opposite. And so when I finally came to that realization, what reigned in my heart and what led me was fear and hate and everything, if I was going to be really honest, I just said, God, change me. Because I only cared about myself. I did not care about any other person, if I was going to be honest, except, my family in a fearful, loving way as I knew love. And I said, God, I can't do this. There's no way that I can have these things in my heart, that I can live it. And I just said, help, change me. That was about 8 years ago that I came to that conclusion. And it was not instant. And I'm not saying that I mean, these things, the opposite of these things, still crop up and explode into the world through my heart. I can still see the wrong things in my heart a lot. But now, every time I do, I say, God, change me. But you know what? Less and less. I am becoming truly, He is changing me, and my heart truly cares about people now, and truly does not promote hate or jealousy or any of those things anymore. I truly am changing. And I'm just putting that out there for you guys, because the world, we will all destroy each other if we continue to live with hate and fear. Be led by it. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.